what is more dangerous to America? Progressive ideology or the casual approach you take with, Muslims that are coming here who are not willing to assimilate, and they want to convert this into what they believe in? Long term, what's a bigger threat to you?
Well, those two threats are intertwined. So you have to understand that the Muslim mentality in the United States, after debating with so many of them, I understand what their goal is, and they're pretty emphatic about stating it. Muslims also hate progressives, but progressives are useful idiots, really useful idiots. Essentially, what Muslims do is they'll vote Democrat and they'll vote for leftist policies. They'll do whatever they need to do because leftists continue to open up the immigration trail for more Muslims to come in. So as long as Muslims can use left-wingers for the path to bring more Muslims in, they'll vote left overwhelmingly. But you see them locally do exactly the opposite, which is amazingly fun to watch. So locally, they'll be like, no gays in school, right? Yep. No this, no women doing this, none of this degeneracy, right? We won't allow any of that. But then they vote for leftist politicians, and you're like, why would you do that? Well, it's because the leftist politicians are opening up the pathways for citizenship for more Muslims to come in. It's a takeover. It's an invasion. It's always been an invasion. In Europe right now, it's an invasion. It's the same thing there. The lefties, or the Muslims there, they'll vote for the lefties. Why? Because it's a very pragmatic thing to do to continue to keep the pathway of citizenship open. Yep. What do Muslims say their ultimate weapon is? The woman's womb. We'll breed you out. They don't care. They'll wait 200 years. They don't care.
It's to infiltrate, populate, dominate, and never assimilate.
Yeah.
And then it's Sharia law.
Yeah.
But you know what it is? Because it's not happening, Andrew, because it's not right now. Because people are like, man, we're in a Christian nation, which I actually wanted to ask you as well. Which religion is basically running this show? Because, I mean, Trump has even said, Trump is not a Christian. He even said that one time in the interview, he's like, I'm not going to heaven, which I never would want to hear from a president. But if you think about it, right now, I don't think, Andrew, because people, like, we see it. We see the writing on the wall. He had to escape from Iran. My parents, grandparents, all of them had to escape from that rule. And right now, because it's not actively in your face, it's happening in Texas. You see it in freaking Minnesota, and it's about to start happening in New York. Nobody really sees it. But in 20, 30 years, like you said, the long game, they're winning. They're winning because it's not going to stop. What was by 2060? It's going to be the most dominant religion is going to be Muslim. And you nailed it. And they said it. There's a video of some guy, Pat, the guy that used to be a hardcore Islamist and then converted. He's like, we love we use the Democrats. We do it. But then when they come in, all the woke, progressive, abortion, trans, gay, all that good like Mamdani. He's in a church or whatever talking with some trans and like, we love him. You think his people, they actually agree with what he's talking about? That they accept the gays, they accept the women have to cover their heads. Ilhan Omar's dressed up all the freaking time, wrapping her head around. This is the clip right here, Pat?
Yeah.
Can you play that?
Lord help us, just listen to this.
When I was an extremist, Islamist, fundamentalist, I would only vote left.
Why is that?
I saw them as very stupid. I would fear the conservatives because they come with principle.
Yep.
That's not someone they can brainwash. But the left, I know they have no values and no principles to begin with. I dare you to find one Islamic extremist that votes for Donald Trump. Never do it. They'd give their vote to the leftist who wants to run around in pride parades. And Islamic extremists are against gays and homosexuals and transgenders, but they want the left to go and get busy with that. And Omar, she's fighting for abortion rights. My body, my choice. Yes, go do that. But would she have an abortion? Never. Would she kill a Muslim in her stomach? Never.
What is the fundamentalist and jihadi agenda for America?
The future of America has to be Muslim.
Lord.
And if you say that, Andrew, if we say this, by the way, you have no, I can't say you have no idea. You know, and he knows because we get the same type of messages. I'm pretty sure you have lovely. I just showed them a death threat that I got from a Muslim guy on Instagram, and it's like the writing is on the wall, like, and it's like the writing's here, and people are telling you turn around and look, and they're like, no, it's not, it's never gonna be like that.
You know what I always do with the Muslim death threats, though? I always say, I'm going to come kill you and rape your wife and kill your kids and blah, 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 you know, and I'm always like, well, I can give you directions to my house, but do you have a high enough IQ to follow them? And they
They come back.
Yeah, then they start spurging out, and then we just kind of laugh because it's really funny.
Yeah.
They get really mad.
I think that was a moment with you in the debate with Daniel Hariraju. Rob, if you want to pull it up, this is the moment. You guys are having a debate, and he is, many Muslims view him as a great debater. Okay, somebody that...
I can give you a precursor there.
Tell me.
So Kikikachu does his homework, just like me. And I do consider him to be a very skilled debater, and I took him very seriously. He's an Ivy League graduate, just like my other opponent at that debate was Richard Carrier, who was a progressive. So I did 2 debates back-to-back, one on Saturday, one on Sunday, both with Ivy Leaguers. So I did take him very seriously, and when I came up to him and shook his hand before the debate started, I said, "Hello, Daniel, how are you? You're a great debater." And he said, "Yeah, you too."
He said that?
Yeah, he said, "Yeah, you too." So when we came up, I think he had a predictive model for me. In other words, he had sat down and predicted out what he thought my line of attack would be. The difference between us was that I predicted what he predicted that would be, and so I was ready for it. He did not predict how I was actually going to come at him.
So he didn't know that you were going to do this?
He had no clue.
Okay, and so this is a very unique angle you took.
Yeah, and it's funny because the core of the argument's actually twofold, and people only picked up on the one, but I can explain the other end of it.
Would you mind watching this first,
Sure.
and then you giving it to us? Rob, go ahead.
Inbreeding has been occurring at a high rate for about 1,400 years since the early Islamic period, encompassing most of the land still occupied by Islam today. It spread from the 8th to the 15th century, moved into Persia, North Africa, South Asia, where it remains and has created some of the dumbest human beings on planet Earth. The most common type of inbreeding is first cousin marriage. The rates of first cousin marriage in comparison to Christian nations is staggeringly high, even in comparison to regions occupied by Arab Christians. When a nation has both Christians and Muslims, Muslims are often double or higher than Christians. Example, India, Lebanon. Next slide, please. Muslim inbreeding. Oh, sorry about that. Pakistan at 65%. 65%, meaning more likely than not, you're having sex with your cousin, and if you're not, you're the weird one.
2/3 is incest.
Okay? For the low IQ members of MDD, that means these people are more likely than not having sex with their aunts or uncles' children. Saudi Arabia, 50 to 58%, with an average 76 IQ. Who would have thunk it? UAE, 54%, 82 IQ. The crown jewel of the Arab world, you are more likely than not to be banging your first cousin. Iran, 40%, 80 IQ. Yemen, 45%, 62.9 IQ. Qatar, 30%, 80.8 IQ. Now, we're going to continue, right? Oman, 36%, 78. Syria, 39%, 74 IQ. Turkey, 25%, 86 IQ. Jordan, 32%, 80 IQ. Egypt, 32%, 76 IQ. It goes on and on and on, and it just never gets better. Next slide, please. Thank you. Compared to Christian countries, let's take a look. Usually less than 1%. Now, I wonder why Christians build better societies, ladies and gentlemen. Now, let's keep going. We want to pull up the slide.
He's really upset here.
Moving right along. As countries become more Christian, inbreeding declines. Right? We can see this from church intervention in Spain, 20 to 30% post-Reconquista. Catholic Church banned cousin marriages for commoners. Papal dispensations sold for royals. Italy, similar high rates in the medieval period. The church enforced bans over the century. France, high medieval. Canon law prohibited marriage within 4 degrees of relation.
You can pause it right
Modern
now. Okay, tell us. So you're explaining this. The argument is higher IQ, better society, better jobs, better economy. Low IQ, you make worse decisions, not the best opportunity, not the safest society. What was the second point you were trying to make?
Yeah, so the debate, the framing was, which makes a better society, Islam or Christianity? I knew that Daniel's attack would be Christian societies have degeneracy in it. the easiest way to combat that is, well, I think it's pretty degenerate to be humping your first cousin. Okay, I think that's way pretty degenerate
and
myself.
He reacted to you, right?
Right.
Rob, there's even the reaction of him where the audience laughs, I believe, and is if you think the worst, no, not this one. It's a 14-second clip that, Rob, that you have. You had it a minute ago, 14-second clip. That's it, yes.
If IQ is the end-all be-all, your entire argument is on the basis of IQ. You haven't said, you just say, oh, marrying your cousin, effing your cousin, that is degenerate. On the basis of what? It's not on the basis of your Bible.
Oh my God.
It's just a degree. Yeah, laugh it up, laugh it up.
Oh my God.
You hear what he just said?
It's like, so what? Like, it's like, and?
Well, I knew that I knew that this was going to be bad for him going into the debate because I knew that he would have to double down and defend first cousin marriage. I knew it because this particular sect of Islam that he represents, they're crazy, okay? And if he were to try to go against it, his head's now on the chopping block, right?
Literally.
So it basically put him in a pincer, but that wasn't even the core, right? The core, the crux of the argument wasn't just that we build way better societies as Christians because we've outlawed inbreeding, so our collective IQ is high enough to, not have donkey pull cart. The core and the crux of the argument was really about ethics. They're constantly appealing to people they consider to be ethically inferior to them to not wipe them out. They're constantly appealing to societies 10 times more sophisticated than their own to just literally not wipe them out and take all of their resources, which means they're banking on our benevolence, literally banking on Christian benevolence. If that's the case, how are you going to say we're the worst people on, our ethics are wrong, we follow the wrong God, we're not doing things right? You're banking on the benevolence of Jesus Christ to restrain us from going to the most oil-rich portions of the world and not just putting you all to the sword. What's to stop us from doing that? Only our ethics. Only our ethical purview and faith in Jesus Christ is what prevents that from happening to you. So how about a little gratitude? How about a little gratitude towards these Christians you demonize all the time? How about a little thank you for stopping and restraining the hordes from going over with their enormous technology and just putting you barbarians to the sword? Because we could.
Yeah, you made the argument that there was a part of the debate where I think you said it'll never happen. You guys will never take over because you're always going to need us.
Not militarily.
Yeah, you're never going to be able to do it because you're going to need us. Your point with that was militarily.
Yes. Yeah, they could perhaps breed us out over time because of birth rates and other various things like this. But all you have to do right now is just look at the situation that they're in to note that they have a serious, serious problem here with mass organization and mobilization, and that has a lot to do with IQ. They hate Jews. Muslims hate Jews to the point of, it's wild how much they loathe them. This is an ancient conflict, by the way, and whether you say that it's right or wrong that they hate them, we can at least acknowledge that they do. Well, they have 9 million Jews in their backyard, and they can't do anything to them.
That was the point you were making.
Yeah, they can't do anything to them.
Yeah.
These people are completely and totally surrounded, right? And they just whip the shit out of them every time they get into an engagement, and it's because the IQ of Jew. And by the way, they bring up, for instance, they'll say, oh, well, there's incest and inbreeding in Israel too. It's true, but it's very low, very, very low percentage. And most of it, guess what? When you look into the stats on inbreeding, it's the Palestinians. That's where you get most of the stats from.
Israel.
In Israel, it's the Palestinians who are doing the inbreeding. And so it's like, all you got to do is look at the IQ difference between the Palestinians and the Israelis. And then you realize if we're looking at it from a pure view of like might makes right, that the Palestinians are completely and totally at the mercy of the Jews in that area. They just are. Objectively, they are. There's no way for them to take on this advanced civilization. But what's ironic about it is neither can any of the other sophisticated nations around. Pakistan, for instance, they have nukes. Can they even deliver them? Can these low IQ, 65% inbred people even deliver these nukes? I'm not even sure that they can. And so this was the point that I was ready to make. Regardless of where you fall in the Israeli-Palestine conflict, I'm not making a prescription here for what Israel is doing is right or wrong or anything in between. I'm just making the observation that 9 million of you versus the entire Arab world, and the 9 million seem to be doing all right. There's got to be some reasons here. And if you look at the technological and IQ differences, it becomes very obvious what those reasons are.
What is the Muslim population around Israel? Is it a billion plus? What is the Muslim population?
I mean,
around
like,
Israel?
I think directly around it, it's not
600 million?
Probably.
Can you check, Rob, what is the Muslim population around Israel? Meaning surrounding countries. Total. So the only one, Indonesia wouldn't be there. So that's a big number that's going to be out. So if you, total number, what do you pull up, Rob?
Well over 100 million Muslims in the broader region.
Yeah.
So over
Jordan,
100 million.
Egypt, Syria, Lebanon, and Iraq.
And those 100 million cannot take out the 9 million.
That not only can they not, it's actually worse. It appears to me, from a logistical military standpoint, with Israel plus Israel's allies, which they've cultivated, which again takes a lot of high IQ diplomacy and things like this and integration to do, they whip the shit out of them. They recently had an exchange with Iran. And not only was the Iranian propaganda awful, I mean, you remember the X propaganda from Iran? You know, oh, the war strikes, we got one missile through. You know, they sent the whole payload, got one missile through, and they were dancing like they did something. And it's like, they were on the losing end of that very quickly. And that was without, now, it is true that there was U.S. allies which were assisting the Israelis with this. But you have the entire Arab region as your allies to assist you. And it appears to me like if they went to war with Israel, they would probably actually lose collectively because of the inability to do mass mobilization, to have military command structures which are decent, and their ability to have kind of like when you look at military logistics, it's very complex and it requires a ton of middle management. Middle management usually starts around 100 IQ. Upper management, you get to like, 120, 130, stuff like this. But you need to have at least 95 to 100 just to have middle management. And logistics, it's all middle management. And so it's like, I don't think that they would fare all that well. My name is Andrew Wilson, host of The Crucible. As you guys know, I'm a political analyst and a political satirist. If you want to talk directly with me, as many of my audience have requested that they be able to do, I've been able to carve out a system on this platform, Connect, in order to do that with you. That's on Connect. You can ask me whatever questions that you want. We can talk debate. We can talk strategy. We can talk about basically whatever it is that you've been wanting to talk with me about, and I hope to see all of you there.
If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.